What's happening, everybody? It is Wednesday, Hump Day, another great day that the Lord has made. Can you dig it? We are here to help you get over the hump. I'm Shelton J. Mr. Kreg A. Stewart of Disorderly Conduct. ENT is on the line, and you know how we do. Welcome to Wednesday, episode 18. Can you dig it? Mr. Stewart, what's happening, brother?
What's going on, my brother? Good morning, everybody that's tuned in. They're 18 episodes deep up in this thing.
18, man. 18.
Oh, man.
Started at 1.
We just keep going up every week. We're giving them more and more content every week. It's getting better and better.
That's the beauty of it all, right? I mean, I think that speaks to exactly what we're talking about with this show, though, man. If you just keep going, you just keep moving, you just keep forward progress going, man, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen in your life, man, because the universe is listening, man. I mean, God is listening, man. Your creator is listening to you, man. Just go forth and be the best you can be. Now, as I say, though, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So you have to put in something. You can't say, man, I want this good old peach tree to blossom and I want to eat peaches for a while if you don't ever plant the seed. You have to go forward and put something in. You have to put something in play before something can produce. So that's how the world goes. That's how this thing goes. The earth will give back to you what you put into it. So I just encourage you guys, if you're having any struggles, if anything's been a little bit difficult for you throughout 2018, I ask you guys to keep on going, keep on moving, keep on believing, keep on trusting, keep on investing in yourself, and keep going and doing the things you have to do. And you will meet the right people. You will have the right connections because you didn't decide to stay into your little ball of self-pity, if you will, and not move forward like you're supposed to. And Mr. Kreg A. Stewart, man, just let the people know, man, who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you, man, before we get into this episode 18, getting over the hump.
Man, Kreg A. Stewart is a husband, a father to Tyson, to KJ, my two baby boys, my lovely wife, Samantha, just the owner of Disorderly Conduct Entertainment, man, where we just keep it real raw 100. Life show that'll give you life advice on just basically relationships, marriages, all that good stuff. Keep it real, keep it raw, keep it 100. Make sure you follow the Facebook page. You can also check out the SoundCloud, download the podcast on iTunes and Google Play, just like that.
Just like that. So if you can't find them, that means you're just not looking because they're everywhere. They're all over the place.
If you ain't looking, you ain't trying because we're everywhere. That's
That's funny, man. That's funny. So how's your week been so far, man?
Oh man, it's been good. I told you before we started, you know, I had the shift. They got rid of my route or whatever, and I was working nights, and I started my new shift this week. And it's been kind of, I ain't even gonna lie, shit. I was all worried because I wasn't gonna have no job at the time or whatever, but I guess the way seniority worked out, it wasn't me, the last man on the totem pole or whatever. You know how they go. And so I ended up with something. And actually, this week has been pretty dope because I've been able to be at home, you know, during the evenings with my son, and I get to see a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he acts around his mom, you know, I always hear the stories or whatever, but I finally get to see it. So now that I'm home, I can correct it. You know what I'm saying? Like I get to, I love that because I didn't get to see that. Like I said, he's just a different guy. You know what I mean? Like he's bad with his mom or whatever, you know. But when Daddy comes through there, you know, KJ, the Daddy voice or whatever, he automatically, you know, gets right, you know, whatever. And that's been something that I've been noticing this week that's been happening. We're working on changing, you know, just being able to be at home at night, you know, to correcting. And just dealing with this snow and ice, man, this week down here in Arkansas.
Yeah, man. You guys brought it to Texas, man. They got the city shut down. City was shut down yesterday, man. Ice all over the place, man. 20 degrees, you know, all that good stuff, man. The city was shut down because the streets, man. The streets were, they say they were treacherous. Man, people like, man, sliding out, man. They don't know how to drive on this stuff because here it is a lot of overpasses right here, man. And so it's a lot of, so the ice just sits on those overpasses, man, because they sitting up high, right? And so they're not getting a whole bunch of that heat and everything, man. So it was a lot of precaution that was taking place. And kudos to the city for really putting the safety measures in place to keep people from really getting on the road and blocking off the roads that really were dangerous, because I think it really could have been worse if people were not just really proactive and saying, you know what, just stay at home. If you can stay at home, stay at home. And so I think that's the important part of it, that people were just being safe within this kind of weather, because it normally doesn't happen like this around this way, man. So it's so it's just something that's new, but I like the flexibility of the city that they're willing to just take meetings of people and say, okay, you know what, if we can be still, you look at the news, no one's on the road, right? So it's like, yeah, we're going to take heed. So it's life and death, man. It's really sometimes about life and death situation. It really can be that way, because they showed someone yesterday to where they were on the side of the road and they had, like, they slid out or whatever, got out of their vehicle and got hit by another vehicle, right? So it's like, you got it. Yeah, man. So it's like, it's that serious. And think about it, though, man. That person had their whole day planned out, probably their whole week, their whole life or whatever the case may be. And then now something simple as ice, frozen water has caused such calamity. So we just really have to be grateful for the small things, man, and also for the negative things for bypassing us, because it could have been us. You know what I mean? So it could have been us in those situations. So we're very grateful, man. So I always speak on these shows, and I'm also with gratitude for you for chiming in and taking your time for having these shows. And we put these shows out, getting over the hump, to really encourage one another and also encourages ourselves. Because again, it's all about gratitude, and that will really affect your altitude. So this whole thing is about, man, solutions, helping people out that need to be helped, and it's all about fan participation. So again, you guys are welcome to chime in, chat, hit the chat box if you're listening live, and let's have a conversation about some things, because what's causing you some trepidation in 2018? What's causing you some hesitation, I guess, from living the best version of yourself, right? So I think, man, I wanted to kind of get into that, man, a little bit this morning, as far as, what were some of the things that may have stopped you at first from going with your podcast, going with your show, going out, moving forward with positive things in your life, not really getting down when they cut you out at work, right? So,
Right. I would definitely say my mindset was the number one, and I would definitely say this weight loss was number two, probably 1.8 if I could put them right there. I believe that my mentality was holding me back, because I always spoke things like I can't, or I won't, or I don't know, or it's going to hurt, it's going to be too hard, it's going to take too much time, it's going to take too much work. I always found an excuse on why not to do something when it came to just being able to think like I can do something, or whether it came to actually doing something and then me stopping and not going forward with my plans or my actions. And I always knew that I was a big guy. Like, you see yourself in the mirror, rolls coming, man boobs is big as hell. You see it, but then you try to play it off like, no, that's not what it is. I'm not really that fat. I'm not all of this and that. But then you realize, like, it just hit me one day, like, bro, you can't breathe. You walk into the truck. I'm really walking from my car to my work truck, and I'm dead tired. Like, I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep living this way. And I was thinking about my son. I got to be able to raise him up, man. I got to be able to be around for him. Watch him run around. I can't do that. Tired, out of shape, mentally, too. Like, I was tired and out of shape mentally just as much as I was tired out of shape physically. And in order for me to do that, I had to change one thing, and that was I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking to Black and Mild at first. That was my thing. I wanted to stop smoking Black and Mild because I was smoking like 5 or 6 a day, and it was nothing for me to smoke. I was just smoking all day, constantly. I stopped that. I started it for my thing was let me do a day. Let's try a day. I tried it a day, and I was like, okay, you did one day, let's do tomorrow. Then tomorrow came, and I did it again. I said, okay, well, let's try to do 1 week. I just set small steps and small goals that I knew that it's something that I could accomplish, and I really, really wanted it. So I stuck with it. And once I said that I could stop smoking tobacco and Black and Mild and stuff, man, it was nothing for me to be like, okay, well, let's lose some weight. Let's add a little exercise into this. And every night, once I got off work, man, I just went running. If I was too tired or I didn't want to go, immediately, as soon as I got off the truck, I just took off running once I got home, because I knew once I went inside the house, man, I laid down or I started doing anything else, I wasn't going to get my exercise in. And I know that I did that for like 2 months straight, every day, where I was just eating salad, eating watermelon. That's all I would eat, salad and watermelon, wake up running every day. And it was weeks where I wasn't losing no weight. It was weeks where I was like, what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm working out. Like, I'm working out. Those are the days that I told myself, I said, Kreg, every day that you're working out now was a day that you didn't do it before. And if you keep working out, you're gonna break those barriers. You're going to get to where you're trying to get. And my goal was just keep going. Just keep working out. Just keep going. Just keep working out. And it just started falling off. The way it was like literally, Shelton, I was buying pants, man, 1 week, and the very next week, I couldn't fit the pants no more. And
yeah,
I was putting in the work, and it was finally paying off. I was seeing it. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want. And I tell anybody, man, if you want something bad enough, you'll put in the effort to get it done. I don't care what it is, whatever you want to do. Like, I was to stop smoking, lose weight, and start a podcast, and boom. And it wasn't even starting a podcast at first. I had to find myself. I was lost in where I wanted to go with myself and who I was as a man, who I was as a husband, who I was as a father, because I was just out of shape and tired mentally and physically, and I had to do something about that. I had to create the change, and now I see the change in my family, and that's the best part about it all. That's the best part.
And that all started, though, man. You didn't stop. You didn't stop, man. I mean, no matter all those things you threw out there, man, the one thing that stood out to me, though, is that you didn't quit. You didn't stop. So anyone listening, though, man, there's something to be said with just persistence. There's something to be said with just continue the journey, even though you may not immediately see the results, right? You can say you want to lose weight and do 4 or 5 push-ups or do sit-ups or whatever the case may be. You're not going to immediately see the results. Same thing like credit, right? It was bad. Just because you start looking at it and want to repair it now, it's not going to immediately get better. It's going to take a little time to get better, but it's going to take some habits and some practice and some lifestyle changes, right, to get to that particular point. The same thing with your weight loss. It took some lifestyle changes. See, you could have changed your mind all day long, but your lifestyle had to change. You had to not go down the candy and the cookie aisle when you went into the grocery store. You had to go down to the fruits and the vegetables aisle, even though that may have been familiar to you. You know, you had to stop and go away from the black and miles when you go into the store and say, you know what, I don't want to go get that. I don't want to do that. And so you just started step by step, man, and getting over your personal hump, right, to get you where you want to be, because you realize this is bigger than you. This is bigger than what you were dealing with. And so whatever pain and aggravation and uncomfortability that you felt with that, you were able to ride through that, man, because you saw the bigger picture, right? You saw the bigger picture. You didn't just see you weren't limited in your view. And so guess what? You weren't limited in your results, my brother. And so look at the results you have right now, because you did not stop. You failed. You know what I'm saying? Though you didn't want to fail. Failure was not an option for you. Failure was not an option for you. You had already felt, that defeat, because like, man, look where I'm at right now. And look at you now, brother. Look at you now right now, man, because you didn't stop. And so again, you are able to encourage those people that's around you, because even though they're silently rooting for you, they're still rooting for you. They're still seeing like, wow, man, Kreg did it. I know I can do it. And that's the encouragement part that we want to always put out there with people. Let them know it can be done. No one, you're not more special than the next person. You just tried. You just kept going where others may have stopped. Others may have started on this weight loss journey with you and may not have lost as much or have accomplished as much, but because maybe they stop, start because of disappointments or whatever, you kept going no matter what, man. Job, family, whatever. You kept going, my brother. And like I said, that's commendable, and that lets you know that if your why was so important, man, and that drove you when you didn't want to run. I don't like running myself, but when you didn't feel like it, that feeling that what your passion, I guess your overall goal superseded that, man. It overrode that, right? And so your faith was bigger than your fear, right? You knew what you were getting, man. Your reward was bigger than the risk. What am I risking right now? But what is the reward? And so I like that, though, man, that at a young age, brother, you already have that and understand that, because there's so many people sometimes that really haven't got that concept, that if you just consistently move forward with anything positive, it will come in time. Just like anything negative, right? Just like we picked up the weight, or you can pick up the weight, right? You can get a bit fat around your belly and all that because you make a choice to go get these fries and this hamburger rather than saying, what can I do? We talked about that last night on the show, man, about health. About physical health, right? And it's like you really have to say, how do I feel about myself if I'm putting this in my body? Can you say you love yourself? If you continue to put things in your body that you know that's detrimental to your health and your life or whatever, right? Why would you continue to do that?
Yep.
and say you
Same
love
thing for me with Black and White. I knew that was bad for me.
Yeah.
I'm killing